Yes, people, welcome back to West Ham Unofficial. I hope you are all well. We are back with another show. We're doing a bit of a Q&A and discussion about should football be temporarily postponed in light of yet more postponements of professional football matches in the top flight and in the Carabao Cup. Mike, how are you?
Yeah, good. Yeah, very good. Thanks, Jake. And yourself?
Not bad
Good.
at all. Right, then let's get our first guest on. Fordy is an Arsenal fan. Obviously, Fordy, you will be, looking forward to playing next because you're in some really good form, and I'm sure you're looking forward to the semi-final tomorrow night.
Oh, hello. Sorry.
You're right, buddy.
How you doing? Sorry, Jake. Sorry, 1 second. The microphone's not working. 1 sec.
All right. We're live, you can tell. Sharky's in the
live.
Chat. It is live. Sharky's in the chat. Hope you're well, Sharky. But Mike, I mean, before we get into the discussions, not much is going on in the world of West Ham. I mean, there's plenty of transfers to talk about. We're going to get onto that a little bit later on. But we haven't got a game for a while, and not much is going on.
It's a good thing. I think they need this week rest because all of a sudden next week it starts again, mate, and we've got a heavy load again, I'm afraid. So they need this little bit of rest anyway. And I think there's certain players that need it more.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Kent's in the chat as well. Kent, hope you are well.
Kent.
Right then. So, Fordy, can you hear us? Thumb up. Oh, all okay. It's all okay. Okie dokie. Fordy, how are you?
He's back.
Yeah, good, mate. You? How's things?
Yeah, not bad. Obviously, Arsenal are in some good form at the moment. I suppose you're looking forward to the semi-final tomorrow night.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Yeah, I think we're going to play Liverpool at the right time. Obviously, I know, there's a suggestion that they've got a few out, but I don't think that's going to affect anything really. So, really looking forward to the game. Hopefully we put Klopp in his place. He can't use excuses about COVID, and the game goes ahead, as I'm aware. And hopefully it's a good game. That's all I can hope for, really.
I hate to break it to you, Fordy, but Jurgen Klopp has called it off.
What?
Called it off. Off.
When?
About 4 hours ago.
You're joking.
I'm not.
These bloody Germans, they come over here, they want a winter break, and now they have 2 injuries, and now they call the semi-final off. They'll be taking over the world next, mate. This is unbelievable.
In all seriousness, though, what are your thoughts? How angry actually are you at the news?
Well, I kind of shared the news earlier on a sports group that we have around here, and obviously Liverpool fans are going to be different, but there was overwhelming support for why this game wasn't actually being played. Now, we can all nitpick at our own teams. We can all say that we've got problems, we've got COVID. But I've had time to reflect and time to listen to other people and how they feel what would happen to their side. But all I can, obviously being an Arsenal fan and coming onto your show, all I can think about is really that I actually quite feel sorry for Spurs at the moment, which is really, really weird. And it's really odd to even have any sympathy for that horrible lot down the road. But they lost European football because they couldn't get a team for COVID. No matter how big their squad was, and they could have probably put a side out, but it wasn't going to be as competitive as their normal fit side. And then you can go to Aston Villa, being made to put 16 debutants on against Liverpool last year. You've got Southampton fans I was talking to who were made to play a game when they had 7 out. Arsenal lost their first 3 games of the season this year when we had 6 players out. We had no recognised centre forward apart from an under-23 player called Boglan, who is not Premiership ready. We're only playing Brentford. We had Chelsea, and I think I can't remember who else we played. But we played the game. we were down to the bare bones, and that was 6 players out. Now, as I understand it, Liverpool have 4 out, but they have a squad that's entered into that Carabao Cup of 32. Now, you can even add to that again your under 23s, and if needed, your under 18s. So yes, let's get this in perspective and do your maths more than anything. 6 away from 32 still leaves 2 squads of players, two teams that you can field. I find it ridiculous. I do. I find it ridiculous. And I do. I understand the compromising position that you're in. Yes, it's a semi-final of a cup, but then every game in the Premier League is vital. Points are vital everywhere. And there will be moments in this season, in these cups, where you will be hit with COVID. That's a give me. I think West Ham may. I'm not sure. I know you've had a lot of injuries, but I don't know if you've been affected with COVID so much
Slightly,
yet.
a couple of players.
Yeah.
But
Against Tottenham, obviously, we had Antonio.
You'll still be made to play the game, though, won't you? You'll still have to play it.
Yeah.
But injuries shouldn't come into it. Yeah. Injuries shouldn't come into it at all.
That was never part of it, Mike, was it? That was never part of it.
I mean, we've had our old back 4 missing. We had 3 of our back 4 against you. We had 4 back 4 missing against Tottenham. Yep. We had Antonio and the back 4 missing against Tottenham in the last round of this cup. Otherwise, you might have been playing us.
Yeah, I mean, exactly.
It's absolutely ridiculous.
It leaves, and for a neutral fan, it leaves a very, very bitter taste, because we've seen lower league football decimated, and I'm talking about, even if you go down as far as Bristol Rovers, if you go into Froome's league, which is under obviously 2 leagues underneath the Football League, there is no compassion when it comes to that. You are made to play.
You got to play.
There's been matches at Froome, for instance, sake, where they've had to shut the clubhouse because the clubhouse has been decimated with COVID. But that has a huge financial impact on on the club, where they could have shut the game down, but they had to play the game. And Liverpool can quite easily put 11 players out and 6 subs on the bench tomorrow. Yeah. Not a problem. It won't be as competitive. They will not have their strongest side out. But we've all had bits in our season, and I speak for every football team, where you will be decimated, not through injuries, but through COVID. It will happen to individual clubs throughout the year. And I can't believe that the FA have caved into this postponement, knowing what has happened in the past. The past being, yes, I know there's been lots of games recently called off. I do appreciate that. But Liverpool have 4 and a coach. Now, Mikel wasn't there for the Man City game for the last game. Yeah. We had to use our number 2. So you just have to get on with it, don't you?
Mike,
I'm just absolutely staggered by that postponement, and it just shows to me the power of a top Premier League club in the Premier League and the FA, that they will fold if enough pressure is applied.
Mike, what do you make of that? Well, I should ask a Leyton Orient fan, and they might give you some answers. Joking aside, they just lost the game, didn't they? Full stop. Yeah. Which is, it can't be one rule for Leyton Orient and one rule for Liverpool. I'm sorry. And there's also, the problem is this, right? Is there a certain amount of players with COVID that you're allowed to have out to cancel a game? No one knows. There needs to be clarification on this, because certain teams have called games off, but we don't know how many COVID cases they've had. There should be a rule. If you've got fair dues. If you've got 10 players out with COVID related, then you may be able to call a game off. But injuries should not come into that. That should not come into that. They shouldn't be clocked up on injuries. We've had it this year. We've had 4 or 5 players injured at a time. we've been lucky up till now. It's only been the last sort of 5 or 6 weeks we suffered. But even Liverpool, I mean, they had injuries last year, didn't they, in the league? You know, but they should not count. I'm sorry, injuries don't come into it.
No.
Like you just said, 40. You've got an under-23 team. You've got an under-18s team. You've got these players have got to play. Full stop.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
I went
no
up to
reason.
the last game when we beat Sunderland in the League Cup, and we generally rest quite a few anyway. And when you've got Sunderland in that, right, you're not going to go full out. You're not going to put your full squad out. So you kind of rotate anyway, and but they were fit enough to play. And Nketiah came in, Bouglan came in again. The same guys that started against Brentford. Now, Brentford are a whole different proposition than Sunderland at home.
Oh yeah,
and I do have a slight bit of empathy for Liverpool because of their team being lessened in some sort of extent when it comes to COVID. But there has to be a cutoff of how many players
that's
ill with COVID.
Say. There's got to be some steadfast rule put in place.
Exactly.
We can't just have it for one team and not another. There's got to be a rule, and everyone's got to know that. All the clubs, all the fans, and everyone's got to know what that is. And at the moment, I don't think there's anything. I think they're just doing it club by club, and they're just favouring teams like Liverpool, I'm afraid.
Well,
I'm just going to jump in.
I've got to admit as well, like on another thing as well. There was a game last week when Blackburn fans had to go to Hull in the league, and they were late doing their testing, and for a 3:00 kickoff, Blackburn fans already being in Hull called the game off at 1:00 because they didn't get their testing done before 9. Now, how is that conducive to a paying football fan before Christmas?
Yeah.
The added expense. I know I'm slightly going off subject here, but there's no strategy, is there? There's no rules in place.
No. Right, I was just going to take some comments quickly. Dylan, hope you're well. He knows. Let's have a look here. Evening. Kent, hope you are not sure how true this is, but we may have a couple of players with COVID. But we know confirmed 4 now has got COVID. Whether he's out of his isolation period yet, I don't know. But I think it's going to be a case of each club. Every now and then a couple of players are going to have it, unless it's it's big.
Going to happen.
Legendary picks what I like this 40. Nick, hope you're well. Time to give Oko Flex a go soon. I think he will. In the FA Cup, I think he might get a few minutes at least. I can't see any of our games being called cancel because we got youth players who played more than 2 games, and we are not one of the so-called big 6. Yeah, I agree. In fact, it's not even the big 6 anymore. It's almost just being narrowed down to just Liverpool, and I suppose you could put Liverpool, Man United, and a couple of other clubs inside. It's not even a big 6 anymore. It's just so frustrating. But any idea of how many Liverpool players are missing due to COVID? I think it's 4 players. They've got a few injuries
plus the coach.
Yeah,
but the coach is neither here or there, is it? I mean,
not really.
There's an under-23 coach. There's an under-18 coach. They got to do the job.
Exactly.
We played games last year without Moyes.
We won.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, I mean, you just, that's neither here or there. He's not a playing member.
How can Aston Villa lose an entire side and be made to play a game of nobody was over 20 years old when they played Liverpool in that FA Cup game? Nobody was over 20. They had the audacity to score against them as well, and he was 17. Klopp was very happy to play that game, wasn't he? And rightly so. But where's the consistency there? There is no consistency.
No. Right, what I'm going to do is, Rob, I'm going to bring you on in just a second. We're just going to take a breather. We'd like to thank our channel sponsors, SRM Carver and Son. Click the link in the description down below to find out more. 15 seconds and we'll be back. Our fantastic channel sponsor here on West Ham Unofficial are SRM Carver and Son. SRM Carver and Son provides crushing, screening and aggregate recycling services across southern England. If you'd like to find out more information on SRM, please click the link in the description down below to check out more information on their website. Thank you very much to SRM Carver and Son for sponsoring West Ham Unofficial, and come on, your irons. Right then, let's bring Rob in. Ragnick's at the wheel, Rob.
Yeah, isn't he just? Even though.
How you doing, Rob?
Yeah.
Right then,
Yeah.
Rob, how are you? How are you enjoying Man United's fantastic run of form at the moment?
I couldn't tell you, mate. It's so up and down, and I don't see. I think last time I was on, I was saying I didn't see the point in getting rid of Ollie. What I just don't understand what they were playing at. Why bring in an interim manager till the end of the season? Just leave your original interim manager in place till the end of the season. I don't know what's going on. It's like they've had too many boosters or something up in the hierarchies. Something's going on. I don't know. It's just bizarre.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's clearly not working either. And what I'm worried about is they're going to start chucking money around again to give Ragnick the players that will fit the system that he's brought. Well, what's the point in that for 4 or 5 months? It just makes no sense to me. Unless, of course, they're going to give it to him permanently in the summer. But he's not shown any reason to do that yet, has he? So, I don't know, Jake, in answer to your question, I don't know how I feel about United at the moment.
Well, as you can imagine, I'm sure as you've seen, the whole footballing world was pleasantly pleasant and happy at the result, because I mean, let's be real, nobody really likes Man United apart from United fans. I mean, United are United really. But Kane, thank you very much for your super chat, greatly appreciated. To be fair, I would have preferred you being a member because you get all the badges and you can do fun things. But thank you very much, Kane, for the 179 super chat. Hello, hope you well. If you would like to join the membership program, though, anybody in the chat, you can click the link in there now. Sharky's a member. Thank you very much, Sharky. Oh, Ollie back at the wheel. Ollie coming back. I mean, Fergie was in the crowd at that Wolves game. Maybe he's going to come back, Mike. Who knows?
I just can't make it out. The players they've got, they should be doing better. I mean, look at the players they've got on the bench. That's
crazy.
Donny van der Beek, a player can't get in the team at all. And,
he gets 2 minutes at the end of every other game.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
I mean, Lingard, he must, I just don't know what he's doing.
One thing I don't understand. Ollie
obviously talked him into the fact that he was going to get some games.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he was awesome for us. I know it was probably a right sort of fit for him, and a new challenge and all that. But God knows why he stayed, really, because he just was never going to get a kick,
No,
I can't stand it, because the amount of good footballers that Man United have got, they just should be doing better than they are. Full stop. There's something wrong. There's something major wrong.
Yeah.
Behind the scenes somewhere.
I think most of the issue has got to come down to the players. But I sat back and I watched most of that United game, and I sat there with McTominay, who I think is overrated, even if he is rated, and Nemanja Matic in midfield, and I'm like, this is Man United. I mean, are we living in 2014-15 here or something? You've got Donny van der Beek sitting on the bench, who's much better than McTominay and what's his name, Matic, and you've got Fred on there, which I think Fred's relatively underrated. I think he's better than both of those. I mean, those two. I mean, I just don't understand. And Rob, it's now coming out that the players are losing faith in Ragnick. This was always going to come out when this bad run of form came on, but just
that didn't take long, did it?
No,
the thing is, like Rob said, it wasn't Ollie, really, was it? I mean. It couldn't have been, because they brought this guy in and he's meant to be, one of these top German coaches, and he's taken a while to get it sorted. And I don't know. Looking at his tactics and the way he's set up, I think this guy might have been even overrated as well.
The excuses are coming out now, like I said just a minute ago, that he's brought a different system and he hasn't got the players to fit that system. Well, I'm sorry, but professional footballers, they should be able to play 10 yards either way or up or further back the pitch. It can't be that difficult, can it? It just can't. I don't understand why players aren't getting more grief rather than the managers.
Well, yeah. I mean, you look at it, and I think Man United are a team of individuals. They're not playing for the team; they're playing for each other, I think. And you see, Luke Shaw did an interview, and everything at the club just looks down, and you know something is really, really wrong when Phil Jones puts in a better performance. Phil Jones hasn't played in a Manchester United shirt. You've got to chuckle. Phil Jones hasn't played in a Man United shirt for 2 years. He comes in and he's better than Harry Maguire over 90 minutes, who cost 80 million quid.
You can't really those two. You can't
Rob,
really compare them.
as an Arsenal fan looking from the outside, I mean, I have watched a few United games recently as well, but the body language is so bad, isn't it? There's absolutely no desire to, and I never agree with Roy Keane. I don't agree with him, but sometimes go and bloody hit somebody. You know, put a tackle in and wipe somebody out, or if somebody's done you, get back and give him one, or you know, if somebody loses a 50-50 or somebody gets skinned, there is no desire or no effort to try and get back. And, you know, my career's on the line or my team's on the line. I got to get back. I got to do this. I got to, you know, I look at, you can single him out all the way through, but I look at those front three and you can almost put Ronaldo, Rashford, Greenwood and all that. Greenwood played all right the other night, but defending starts from the front, you know, and there's no willingness to close. There's no willingness to press. There's no willingness, if you get beat, get back and do him. There's no willingness, right, this bloke skinned me 3 times. I'm going to take him clean out. I don't care if it costs me a booking, but I'm going to show you that you're not going to do it again. It's so easy to play against United nowadays. It's so easy.
Yeah, the thing is, because you've got the only person that, when he's on the pitch, Cavani, when he's on the pitch, he shows a lot of passion and a lot of desire. Whether that's just his professionalism or, as I like to believe, he really is enjoying or was enjoying playing for United, I'm not sure. But he, at 36, is he nearly 37, I think?
Yeah, he is, yeah.
He's still showing everybody else on the pitch.
Yeah, he's a quality footballer, isn't he? The guy's
he's class throughout. I love he's been brilliant for United when he's been there. But again, I've said this before as well. They brought Ronaldo in. He was never part of Ollie's long-term plan. No. Never. So and there's no chance that Ollie looked around and said, "Go and get me Ronaldo. I want him." Not a chance. So that was a board signing, dropped in Ollie's lap, and he's just chucked a spanner right in the works. You've got players playing in opposition all the time.
Rob, do you think they signed him just to stop him from going to City?
I don't want to say that because it's a stupid move, isn't it? Yeah. You know, that's no reason to sign any player. But probably they did. But again, I think they may have fell for his agent's trap because I don't think Ronaldo would have gone to City. I really don't believe he would have gone to City. I don't think he had any desire. I can't see him in the City shirt. Because Pep wouldn't have had him in the team every week.
No, he wouldn't. No.
Not a chance. And so I think his agent played a blinder, played the sentimental card, got him back at United, massive contract. It's his last massive contract, isn't it? Yeah. You know, and he's gone back to a place everyone loves him, but he's turned out to be a spanner in the works. And there's only me and one other of my United mates that have got the same view on that. Everybody else loves him, think he's brilliant, great, he's back. Which I love seeing him in a United shirt again.
Oh, yeah. There's no denying the bloke has got a phenomenal record and has been an absolutely great footballer. There's no doubt about that, but it just wasn't the right thing for United at the time.
No, well, there was signs of progression, you know.
Yeah,
Ollie was getting there, and it wasn't a quick march anywhere. He was progressing slowly and steadily.
Yeah,
and then all of a sudden, boom! It's all gone. I'll change what I was going to say. Belly out. He's lost his job, and we're back to square one. And we've got a team full of players playing out of position who I bet half of them are upset that Ronaldo's turned up. You know, it's all right playing with a legend, but a legend who's showing you the ropes and playing, you know, making people follow in his footsteps. He's not doing that because it's the same old Ronaldo. I'm brilliant. I'll stay up here. You guys do all the work.
Yeah.
You know, he's not setting an example, is he? So if you might get from my tone, I'm not that happy that he's back.
Kane, thank you very much for becoming a member. Greatly appreciated. You are a super sub. Thank you very much. It's just a very it's a very bad situation for United, and it doesn't look like it's changing anytime soon. And you look at, and as much as I hate to say it, you look at Spurs and you see where they're going under Conte. You look at United, you haven't got a clue what's coming week on week.
Yeah. Why? There's a huge question here as well, because Conte was available. Now, I think everyone in football thought, well, United will go and snap him up now.
Yeah.
But what United also have a problem is you don't have a sporting director like every Premier League club. You are the only club without a sporting director in the whole of the Premier League. Now, you can't ask your chairman to go up, after a coach, because that's not their job.
It's not their job. No.
You've got to have that one in the middle that has the communication between the player, the coach, or the coach is going to be replaced, and the chairman. Why have you? I think you're talking about it now, but you're going to regress, and thank God you have, because it's a pleasure watching United suffer. Absolutely adore it.
Bring it on.
Find it very fascinating. But I hear what you're saying, Rob, about it was Solskjaer's fault. Solskjaer was never good enough. Let's get that right.
No,
he got them to a certain level, and he was never going to push them on. But you had naivety in your management structure that didn't let you push on. Now that is going to push you back 5 years. United won't be available to win trophies for ages because of the bad decisions upstairs. And it has a knock-on of, yes, players have to take responsibility. They have to, because what I saw against Wolves the other night was disgusting, absolutely disgusting. But it seems to be a shambles in that board at United. There seems to be no direction. Nobody's taking charge. Conte was available. He should have been your manager. He should have been Man United's manager.
Yeah, I can't disagree with anything you said there. To be fair,
the thing is, Conte's a winner. It ain't going to be pretty for Tottenham fans this year, but they're going to win a lot more games.
Yeah.
He was a good appointment for them. There's no doubt about it. And United, a few years ago, you wouldn't have said he would have been a United sort of manager, but United went for Mourinho, so do you know what I mean?
Not a lot of difference.
From there onwards, you can't say, oh, we don't want that sort of manager. We want to win it. We don't want to play that way, but we just want to win. So they've got to make their mind up which way they want to go, really.
Yeah, and they've got to do it a bit sharpish as well.
Because you're losing time and ground all the time.
Yeah, and
this short-term fix is lunacy in the making. It makes no sense whatsoever. Not from
a fan's or a supporter's point of view, but this is what you're saying. When it comes down to the board and your sporting director, or lack of, you haven't got a guy there directing the board in the right direction either. Because
he should have gone out. He should have gone out and got your contract.
Yeah.
That's why I hate the fact that Tottenham's got him. I absolutely think. How the hell has Tottenham got hold of Conte? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
they look better already. Tottenham. It's a horrible thought again. Another terrible thing.
The only thing is,
Tottenham, they don't deserve Conte, but Conte needs to work. He should have gone to United.
Yeah,
but Conte needs money to spend in January.
Yeah, I get that.
If he gets it, he'll do really well with Spurs. He really will. If he doesn't, he won't be there very long. Full stop.
Well, yeah.
Right. Let's take some comments. I'm going to scroll up. Fred is horrible. I do think he's not the best, and he's not Man United's level of the Man United everybody's used to. But I mean, he's better than Nemanja Matic
I've ever seen, apart from Jemba.
I mean, he's better than Nemanja Matic just purely because Nemanja Matic injured Soufal and put Soufal out for a month. And to be fair, Ben Johnson wasn't a bad replacement, Mike, but that was naughty. That was
naughty, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Seems the players the problem at Man United. Let's have a look here. Talking about the COVID situation. Peter says 2 years to have clearer rules stating the rules regarding COVID COVID cases, so everyone understands and every club is treated the same. Injuries don't come into it with 25-man squads and under 23 players. What you said, Fordy, was very very good in the fact that they got Liverpool have got 32 players eligible just in their first squad to play, and they've got a few out from the AFCON. Yes, we get it. They've got a few injuries. Yes, we get it. Yes, they've got 4 and Klopp, COVID. I mean,
did you see Liverpool's tweet this afternoon as well? And the audacity and timing of it was laudable, really, if you think about it. But the 9th of December they play Shrewsbury in the FA Cup, and they're okay to play that one. That game's going ahead.
Yeah, they'll be
well, I never. Unbelievable.
It is a bit silly, but let's move on. I probably fancy us at Man United. It's going to be. I'll tell you what, it's going to be a good day, and we haven't beaten them up there in the Premier League since 2007. It's about time we beat them in the Premier League up there again. And I think if they carry on in this rubbish run of form, then we might as well just bring Lingard back on the bus with us, because why not? Newcastle have been treated unfairly to other clubs, so they can improve their chances of staying up with new players brought in. Luke Shaw interview was embarrassing.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That was.
It was so cringy. Honestly, that did you see the interview with Luke Shaw?
I didn't know.
There's a man who's he's like a bungalow. He's got nothing upstairs, has he? I mean, just give yourself a couple of minutes to engage brain and then speak, because he's like Luke Shaw last night reminded me of an MP when he got caught shagging on Hampstead Heath or something like that, and he was coming out with all these excuses like he'd accidentally entered another man, or but it was so bad and so cringy that it was. I got really embarrassed for him. I don't know why, and I had to turn it off because Sky were brilliant last night. They kept him on longer. They kept probing him. Thought, this is car crash telly here. We've got one of the best interviews happening right in front of us. There's a man having a meltdown, and he's just making a noise. He's not saying anything profound. He's not saying anything that's going to make him, a Mensa candidate or anything like that. This man is having a full meltdown in front of TV, and he doesn't even fucking realise it.
Let's take some comments. Wolves made Man United look awful, but Wolves beat us the other week. Good point. Very good side. Wolves controlled the game from start to finish. Never thought I'd be cheering Chelsea. Yeah, we all are. I just can't. It's just Spurs winning the trophy. It just can't happen. Let's scroll down. It looks like a rogue gallery. Oh, Peter. Well, there we go. Well, we've got Cavani's brother down there, Fordy, because why not? And somehow I literally just logged on at that moment where Fordy was ranting about a politician.
Sorry.
And son, hope you well. Right. I am gonna let you two go in just a second. What I'm gonna say is final thoughts, Rob, on Man United. There we go. We'll have that. Just that. Perfect. Perfect. Done.
You got a white flag.
Perfect. 4D COVID FC. As we can see, you're excited for the game tomorrow night at Anfield.
Absolutely. I think it's been a little while since I've been on here, so I do apologise. I've had a bit of a COVID and chest thing myself, but I think the last time we were on here and West Ham were fourth, and it was just before we were going to play you actually as well, and we absolutely battered you. It was embarrassing, West Ham. It would have been easier playing Barnet. You're meant to be a top 4 side, and Jake, you're giving it all this, saying, "Fordy, you've only got one."
Right,
Yeah,
so
we weren't playing against 12 men, mine.
I feel a
Playing
mute
against
going
12
on.
men, and you were only
see,
playing
I've
against
muted
10.
him. I've muted him. Don't
12
do that.
against
You'll get
10.
me banned.
Well done,
Right.
Jake.
What I'm going to say, oh, gone. Oh,
Oh, he's gone.
Oh.
there, look at that
You
there.
left
See,
him on
look
far
at
too long, Jake.
that. Look at that. Rob, thank you very much.
Thanks, Jake. Cheers, mate.
See you later, buddy.
Unbelievable. Didn't even let me respond. Right then, let's change things up, shall we? Do you like the graphics, Mike?
Very, very smart, Jake. Good work.
You can tell I've had some time to be doing things.
Yeah. Time off
But
the school.
Mike, what are your expectations for this January transfer window? We're 5 days in, not much has happened. A few players linked, as always. Well, not a few. I mean, millions have been linked. But what are your expectations?
Expectations are low, I'm afraid. Oh, what I would like to see and what we're going to get, I think, are going to be two different things. But hey, these guys have got to get their hands in their pockets because we are desperate now. We are desperate for 3 or 4 players in this window. They keep saying January's the hardest time, but we managed to do all right with it in the past for the last 2 years. So, fingers crossed, mate. We're desperate for a left back. We're desperate for another defender. If Ogbon is going to be out for the rest of the season, I'd love to see Lingard come back. I really would.
Yeah.
And we're desperate for a striker as well.
Mm.
Do I think we're going to get them all? No, I don't.
I did do a show earlier on talking about all of the latest transfer rumours and news. You can check that out on the channel. But yeah, it's a difficult one. I mean, we did all right 2 years ago, didn't we? Sign, was it Souček and Bowen all in that January transfer window? So it's done. You know, it has been done, I should say, but we're going to talk about it more in a second. We have got 23 people watching. Hit that like button. Let's get 20 likes, and all of you get your player suggestions, who you want to sign. Get them. Just whack them in the chat. Just spam them because we will discuss your suggestions and links of who you want to come to West Ham, and get your questions in about West Ham as well as we are as we enter the final part of the show. Peter says window. Oh, let's click it on. That would help. Window open. Just wait until 30 minutes until it closes. No striker, no left back, no centre half. There goes our chance of the top 6 and Europa Cup. I hope not, Peter. I hope not. Send our kids to the new. Sorry.
It's frustrating, Jake. That's the trouble because it always happens in the last. If we're going to do anything, it's going to happen in the last 15 minutes or something stupid. I mean, it's ridiculous. This should be sorted out now. Yeah.
I mean, that summer transfer window just sums up West Ham. I think we'd signed one first team player before deadline day, and then we signed Vlasic and Crow. Was that it on deadline day?
Yeah.
Because we signed Zuma a couple of nights before. That was after a game. We got back from a game and he'd signed. I think it was the not Everton. I don't know because he played in that game. I don't know. I think a striker will be in the summer. Got a feeling. I mean, we say this every year, don't we? You know, we said it for the last 3 transfer windows. If we're going to get a striker, we're going to get a striker. If we don't sign a striker in this window, Michael, we're just going to have to come to our senses that David Moyes is just not going to sign a striker.
Well, I think we all know, Jay. He doesn't just want a striker for the sake of having another striker. Yeah. He wants someone that can give Antonio a run and put some pressure on him. I mean, he wants someone with the same sort of qualities as Antonio and then do the same sort of job and fit straight into that team as a straight, replacement. And he ain't going to just go out and buy someone for the sake of it. But I almost think that we should have someone just as a backup because we all know, it's just one game away from a disaster.
Yeah. I think we will. I mean, we will see whether Daniel gets his checkbook out in this window. Yeah. But there's been very mixed things. David Moyes said, "Don't expect too much." Daniel Kretinsky said he's not going to spend too much money. We've got to get the bare minimum. To you, Mike, what is the bare minimum of what West Ham needs to get done this month?
A bare minimum is a defender who can play left back, which would be great if it was a utilities player.
Yeah.
I did mention Ake, but I don't think we'd get him because he's been playing so well for City lately. He would be ideal. He can slot in at left back and he can play centre back. That is a bare minimum with a striker in my mind. I'd like to see Lingard back. I really would. I think, he's been sat on the bench so long at United now. He had such a good time with us before. I think he'd just be chewing it a bit. He'd be dying to get back out there and get himself back in the England squad and prove to everyone what he can do and prove to United what he can do as well.
Yeah. Let's have a look at some of your comments. Ashby to be converted to striker.
The next right back to a centre forward. Yeah, I get it, Peter.
Sharky says anyone who can play left back or as a centre forward, please. West Ham. Antonio due to play 3. Oh, this is this thing as well. Antonio due to play 3 games for Jamaica in January.
Yeah, I saw that.
He hasn't been confirmed in the squad to my knowledge, or there's been no release from the club about him going. So that's just a waiting game to see whether he gets picked or whether he goes. I'm convinced he'll probably do what he did a couple of times ago, where he'll say, I just want to stay.
I hope so.
But we'll have to wait and see. But personally, I'll take Jonathan David. If we want to progress, we need to make a top class signing. Need to make top class signings to compete. We do.
Agree.
Every window we get 3 or 4 striker names bounded about. We've had Jonathan David, we've had that Arthur Cabral. I honestly thought this Gabriel Barbosa was the one. Yeah, but West Ham are messing around with this by the sounds of it, according to sources that basically what's happening is top sources have confirmed that West Ham have inquired about an 18-month loan loan with an option to buy at the end of that 18 months. Flamengo, Gabriel Barbosa's club, want none of that. They want to get rid of him, not get rid of him. They want to sell him to make some money, and they want to sell him permanently in this window. The story is that a club like Zenit are going to move for him permanently, but it seems unlikely West Ham will move for him in a permanent manner for about £25 million. If this is true, just get it done.
The thing is, it's January, and also what makes it worse is the Newcastle factor, that everyone we get linked with, all of a sudden Newcastle are going to jump on the back of it and throw a few more million at it. But then again, if that player is going for another 2 million to Newcastle, what I mean? We don't want him, full stop anyway.
Well, what's being said now, and by Sky Sports have now been saying that West Ham are preparing another bid. Flamengo have already said that they don't want a loan. They're not interested in loans, but West Ham
outright buy.
Sorry?
Is it got to be an outright buy?
Yeah, they want an outright buy. They don't want none of this loan, but apparently West Ham are working on another 18-month loan, but with a bit more money, with a €30 million. It's cutting corners. If David Moyes wants to strike, whether it's Kretinsky, Gold, Sullivan, Brady, whoever, just buy him. But one thing that did worry me today, Mike, is that we are getting the go-ahead on a refurbishment or something of the West Stand at the London Stadium. Is going to cost £14.5 million.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd prefer a left back more than a refurbishment of a stand.
Yeah, I think so. The stand's got to be done. Don't get me wrong, but a left back's got to be priority.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Because yes, it might need doing the West Stand. Isn't that the away and where you are, Mike?
Yeah.
That's the West Stand. Is there anything wrong with it that needs to be?
Yeah, well, you got that bit in the middle. You got that bit in the middle.
Well, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's that could be filled in. There's a lot they could do with that, but I should imagine it will be 15 to 20 million pounds worth to do something like that.
Yeah. Let's take some of your comments. Loads of comments coming. Keep them coming in. We will take. Can we play women in our team? No, we can't. And their game's being called off.
Their game's
anyway.
off.
Yeah, their game's off now because they've all got COVID. What's the point of Rob Newman if no signings? I would take Digne and Cabral now. I think it's a bit too early in the window to be doing panic stations. Of course, we would have liked to see intent and seen a player through the door in the first 5 days, which we haven't seen unless the player's announced tonight, which is highly unlikely. But this Rob Newman will have an impact. But I mean, panic stations start if we haven't signed at least one player, by halfway through on the 20th of January. I think then we can start panic stations. But David Moyes is never a quick snatch buy. Let's get him. He and X has confirmed this with Digne. He really likes Digne and he'd like to sign him, but he's concerned about his discipline and the fact that he has fallen out with Rafa Benitez and he doesn't want that to upset the dressing room.
So it's. Do you know what I mean? There is something wrong there, isn't there, with the makeup of the lad, obviously. Unless it was all down to Rafa, but I wouldn't have thought so.
Yeah,
it's be interesting.
Definitely. Well, we'll have to wait and see. But let's have a little look here. Then 2 left backs and a forward for the bare minimum, says Sharky. Let's have a look. A big gamble on Barbosa. It would be, but
yeah,
I'd like it. I'd like us to. But
we've been linked with this guy for some time, haven't we? For a few years, I think.
Yeah. John says we have scored 73 goals in 2021, the third highest in the league. I don't think we'll get a big name striker, maybe someone like Brereton Diaz from Blackburn. So the situation with this guy, Mike, is that he's Blackburn has said he's not really for sale, and some sources are saying they wouldn't talk to a club unless it's in the £30 million region. He looks good. I mean, Bowen came out of the Championships banging in goals.
Ben Rama.
Yeah, Ben Rama. I don't see it though, Mike. I don't.
No. People have said to me, I've only seen little clips of him, so I couldn't tell you. But people that have watched him every week have said they're not quite sure whether he would make it in the Premier League. But hey, only time would tell that.
Exactly. I think it's that stage of the transfer window now where it's just time will tell, and it's just sitting on our hands and just waiting for it to happen. No deal then with Barbosa, I think it is. Yeah. They must think he won't make it. David Sullivan doing a Del Boy with the loan deals again. Yeah. Just it's corner cutting all the time, and if they're saying this, if they're saying a loan, we don't want loan deals, don't put another loan deal on the table. It's frustrating if these things are true, Mike, but they might just be completely made up.
This is it. We hear a lot of stories, don't we? People saying, "Oh, what's the use of this Rob Newman?" He's probably done his work. He's probably done his work, but he's not going to be the one that's going to actually do the deal, is he? Come the end of the day, he's not the one that's going to put his hand in his pocket.
No. To be fair, that's a very good point, because I mean, if some of these links are true, then he's done a pretty good job, because we've been linked with some pretty good players out there, especially strikers. We've been linked with some very good strikers. Nobody'd heard of these Barbosa. If they are good, the likes of these Barbosa, Cabral, David. I mean, we haven't been linked with these players before Rob Newman came in. A bit about Cabral. Epic Cash Time. Hope you're well. Brazilian West Ham fans on Twitter say Cabral would fit the Moyes system and Gabigol wouldn't. Well, there we go. Yeah. Who knows? If we buy... I saw that earlier. Yeah, sorry, comment skipped. If we buy Digne, could play 3 centre-backs with Creswell, come back with Digne as a wide left wing back. We must do something. I'll be buzzing with the signing of Digne. I mean, I know.
Yeah. I like the look of him. He is a good attacking left back. Probably more suited to play as a wing back with a back three than two
and
wing
he
backs.
Is. Yeah. And he's 28 years old. So we've got 4 years on Aaron Creswell, which a couple of years ago, people were mentioning him as one of the best left backs, in the league. He's he really impresses on his day. Unfortunately, you know, things have happened at Everton. He's not getting game time, but I mean, I think they've confirmed that he will move to the Premier League. He will move out of Everton to a Premier League club. It's just who gets the deal done. And we all know we're not the best at getting deals done, but, you know, that's West Ham. But new position for Masuaku until the end of the season is left back in the hotel.
Left back on the go.
Sounds good, Peter. Digne would be about £25 million and around 100k a week. People have been saying his wages are high. That will
1-0 to Chelsea.
get it in. Come on, 6 minutes in. There we go. Get in. Have that, you spuds. Get in. I think.
Bit of an own goal as well, but there you go.
And around 100k a week. I think we could get those wages down. Diaz has done nothing before this season. And don't forget, Armstrong banged in goals for 3 seasons and has done nothing in the Premier League. That's a good point. They both come from Blackburn. I think Armstrong's not really done much at Southampton, so it might be a dead end, but it might be something like Bowen. But Championship players who used to be a value of money, now they are high priced. Armstrong has been great when he's played, says JJ Smith. Barbosa, says you, please. Bowen, to be fair, Bowen didn't hit the ground running either. That's a good point. Ben Rama didn't hit the ground running either. It's a very good point. But we'll start wrapping things up. Mike, your final thoughts? We are 5 days into the window. Plenty of players linked. No action taken.
I'm happy that the players that we've been linked with have been good players, like you said, Jake.
Yeah.
But we all know it's all going to come down to that last 15 minutes, and we're going to be sat here chewing our nails again, saying, "Are we going to get someone or what?" You know, we all know it's West Ham, mate. We're used to it. It happens all the time. But hey, I'd love them to shock me and get some deals done early, because we're going to need them. Because we've got a run of games coming up again. We've got a little rest for 7 days, but then it starts coming thick and fast again.
It does. And we could, when we play United, just bring Lingard back on the bus. It saves transport and money for that. I mean, he could still probably have his apartment in London. He might have just kept it when he wants to come down into London. So just bring him back on the bus. Let's sit next to Declan Rice, have a chat, and that is it. But there we go. I hope you've enjoyed this video. There will, of course, be more West Ham transfer news shows coming to you thick and fast very soon on West Ham Unofficial. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much to Fordy and Rob for coming on earlier on. Mike, thank you very much. Pleasure as always. Catch you soon.
Thank you, mate.
Thank you very much. Come on, you guys. Drop a like on the video. Check out our channel sponsors in the description down below. And that's it from us. West Ham, sign some players, please. Catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.
See you later, guys.